Hey, what's up guys? Truth here with some more Medal of Honor 2010. No, this is not Medal of Honor Warfighter. I apologize if some of you guys were expecting that, but as you guys know, and if you don't, I'm about to tell you, I don't have an Xbox 360, nor do I have relatively easy access to one. If I wanted to play Warfighter Beta, record it, it would be an unbelievably big hassle for me, and I have to basically take it from my friends who lives near me, and I don't really want to do that because he's an avid gamer like myself, and I'm pretty sure he wouldn't appreciate it too much if I just took his Xbox and was playing and recorded for a while. So that's why I'm not bringing you guys any kind of Warfighter beta, and plus, honestly, I'm just going to wait for the game to come out. Yeah, I know it is a beta, but you only get to play one map and one game mode, and I'm just going to wait and wait for Warfighter, the full game, to release on the 23rd for the US or the 26th of October for Europe, and get my experience then. But Warfighter is actually what I wanted to talk to you guys about today and discuss just a little bit. And what I mainly want to talk about is my thoughts on this game from someone who is on the sidelines, from someone who has not been playing the game, and someone who's not gotten a chance to really see what it's like as far as an actual in-game experience. So keep in mind, guys, that while you're watching this video today, everything I'm saying is going to be based off of observation. This is not, I've not played the game, so I'm not really any kind of expert on it. So I don't know how the game handles, how it feels, how it flows. This is just solely based off observation. Just keep that in mind when you're watching the video. Alright, so Medal of Honor Warfighter so far is looking, I don't know. This is kind of a difficult thing to really explain, but it's kind of what I expected it to be, in the sense of I was very open to what it was going to bring, what it offered. And I think that's one thing that some commentators have done a good job of and some have not. And what I really mean by this, if you're still confused, is that some people entered Warfighter with a mindset of, this is what the game is going to be like, I think it's going to be like this. And that is where I think you go totally wrong when jumping into a first-person shooter or really any kind of multiplayer game. Enter a brand new game with an open mind, willing to accept almost anything. And if you do that, and you're not raising your expectations bar or what you think it's going to be, then you're not really going to be disappointed when you actually play the game. See, some people, what they're doing is they're jumping in this game thinking it's going to be like, I don't know, more of a fast pace, more of a slow pace, and they're not getting what they thought, and so they're writing this off as a bad game. That's part of the problem we're having right now, is that people are just writing it off as a bad game just because it's not what they thought it would be. Well, first of all, like I said, you need to remember, guys, that when you enter a brand new game, you've got to be open for anything. And once you do that, I think is when you actually get the most enjoyment out of the game, because you get to see a game for what it is, what it offers, and like I've said in Medal of Honor Mondays, and this right here's a fail artillery striker driver like right next to me, make sure you're always giving a game a second chance. So for those of you that did not like the beta, just see what happens when the full game comes out. Maybe you don't have to buy it. Maybe you have a chance to borrow it from a buddy or something like that and try it. Always give a game a second chance. Maybe if you still don't like the beta, to when it gets towards the end, wait 3 months from now after the game comes out and then try it again and see how you like it. And that's one thing I think we need to keep in mind, especially for games like 2010 where it happened with this game. People thought it was horrible, so they wrote it off and never came back to it again. And that's one of the reasons why 2010 died so fast. If people do that with Warfighter, it's going to have the same results. I'm hoping it doesn't have that, or that doesn't happen to it, I should say. So now let's talk about what actually the gameplay of Warfighter, the game mechanics, and just aspects of the game that I haven't seen so far that maybe I've liked or disliked. And the first thing I want to say is that so far I've been very impressed with the catering to different playstyles that this game appears to have. Just watching some gameplay, it's clear that you can choose to play a passive role or an aggressive role and still do well, play the objective, and help your team. And that is something that not many games can allow you to do. Either you have to run very fast, you have to be very slow, and this game, even though the map is relatively small, now it's not like teeny tiny itty bitty like a Battlefield 3 Close Quarters map, which I'm trying not to make comparisons there, but you get what I'm trying to say, where it's just itty bitty tiny rooms and corridors and places. It's actually decent size, and you can keep your engagements long range, or you can get up close and personal, and that's something that is really appealing to me, because some days all I want to do is get a shotgun and just run around and shoot people in the face. You know, you just have those days when you're playing first-person shooters where you just say, screw it, I'm just going to be a moron and run around aggressively as I can. I mean, we just about all have that when we're playing first-person shooters. And then there's some days in which you're just kind of feel a little bit more tactical. You know, I'm going to slow down, take things easy, let's work as a team, and let's do this. And Warfighter appears to have that. And that's something I'm really excited for. I think it's going to make for some great gameplay, some great comms with in between players and friends, and allow you to get some great objective gameplays once the full game actually comes out. So how about the class system? Well, the class system, many players right now are still catering more towards the Point Man, Assaulter, Spec Ops class, just because those are naturally going to be the classes with the better guns. I guess you could say more people know what they're going to be like, in the sense that in most first-person shooters you have some kind of class that has assault rifles. I mean, obviously in Battlefield 3 there's the assault class, and a few other games I think there's also a few assault class games in there as well, to where it's assault rifles, and people know what those are like, and they know that those are generally going to be the best guns in the game. So that's what they have a tendency to kind of shade towards in their choices. They're usually going to be like assault, or in this case Spec Ops or anything like that. So that's what mostly people have been playing. I've seen very few gameplays with like Sniper or Heavy Gunner, but I have seen a few. And so far, the class system is relatively well balanced. I think just right now, people are still just mainly focused on like the Assaulter and the Spec Ops classes, and that's just what they're playing. But once the full game comes out, we'll actually get to some playtime with all the classes across different maps and game modes, etc. We'll figure out really what's the best classes for different game modes and things like that once the full game comes out. So a lot of this is just, it is a beta right now, or we're going to have to wait for the full game to come out to really see the full potential and what this game really has to offer. So about support actions. Support actions look great. I'm not worried whatsoever. The maps look like they're big enough size to where there's no concern. That was one of the biggest things with 2010. It wasn't the fact that the support actions were overpowered. I know for those of you that watched my Tricom with Culprit and Mass Nerder, you may be a little bit confused there. I kind of misspoke with what I was meaning to say. And it came out basically saying that I thought the support actions were overpowered in 2010. No, it's the maps and the bad spawn systems in 2010 that made the support actions seem like they're overpowered. So that's good, because in Warfighter, that doesn't appear like that to be all. These support actions appear to be very well balanced with the maps and the spawns and everything like that, so I'm very pleased with that overall. So what are going to be my plans for Medal of Honor Warfighter? Well, basically what I'm going to do is, my goal is to bring you guys different game modes, different maps with different classes, and give you guys strategy. What the best class is for whatever game mode on certain maps, what's your best viewpoints, what's your best alleys to cover, things like that, and hopefully give you guys more strategical gameplay commentary. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave your thoughts about this commentary below, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.